pretty awesome to welcome the All Blacks captain to the show, Scott Barrett. What's it like, knowing that's your position and now everyone knows and you can just get on with the job?
It's great to be at this point, and I guess filled with excitement to get into the season. Yeah, ready to go.
What does it look like? I mean, the way that you and Razor have worked in the past, do the captain and the coach get together on a Monday morning and have a chat, or what does it actually look like?
They have, with Razor, I think he sort of drives, a lot of the philosophy, the culture stuff within the group, and how you operate within that. You have key relationships with your coaches who drive different areas of the game, and your role as captain is to, trust the guys in their key positions, be it the players, your game drivers, your 9s, 10s, your 15s, trust them to be able to influence on the ground, in the training park, with their strategy alongside the coaches. So, I guess that's the beauty of the All Blacks. You're surrounded by a group of talented guys, not just the players, coaches, and guys striving to be experts, yeah.
A lot of New Zealand's probably going to find out through interviews and just, spending more time to getting to know them. But you spent a lot of time with actually all of them. I don't know if you've spent time with Jason Holland, I'm not too sure, but the majority of that coaching group you've had a lot of time to do with, more so for the New Zealand public. What's something that they can be looking forward to, knowing that there is a new kind of feel, a new change of, what these new coaches are coming in, what is it to be expected in being new All Black coaches?
Yeah, I have worked with Jason Holland back in Canterbury in 2014, 15. So, yeah, all the coaches have actually had work with in the past, and I think they'll just want to be, the best in their area. Like Jace in the forwards, he's always learning. Leon with his attack stuff. Coming from the Blues, and I think it sort of combines, their own expertise in different areas, and Razor would be sort of overseeing and steering the ship in a way, like that everyone's heading in the right direction, and that's what he does best. He does that with energy, and he ultimately knows how to get the best out of his people, yeah.
Do you have a mentor? Do you have a person you go to?
Within the group, Jace Ryan, he's a good coach and someone that I sort of, trust and go to, specifically around my game and anything outside of that. Kerry Evans is great to have him in the group. He's really sharp with his, simple focuses. He really puts your mind at ease.
He's a psychologist.
Yeah. He just really simplifies things, for someone like myself who can get a wee bit busy in the mind at times. He can sort of hit you right between the eyes and give you some direction, yeah.
We had Artie in here as well, and he talked around with the learnings of the World Cup around what he might have thought would have been something that they could improve on, and what he reflected from. And he talked about pressure situations, being able to adapt on the run. And actually, Scott Hansen actually talked around this. A good All Black or a good player is able to be adaptable.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of your really good traits that you were able to do, because you're a constant rugby astute person. You reckon you'll have those key players and being able to have those conversations along with Kerry as well?
Yeah, I think you got to lean on your experience within the group. Ultimately, you want to be able to sort of trust yourself out there to make a decision. So that's working alongside the coaches, working alongside Kerry to, be able to, execute in a high pressure situation like a World Cup. So I think the resources around us in the All Blacks is it's amazing, pretty lucky. So I think it's utilising them. Not leaving a stone unturned within that environment to, set yourself up for success, yeah.
Scott Hansen definitely won't let that happen, so definitely won't. He'll be screwing you up pretty quickly. Yeah. So there'll be some honest conversations.
So you're a thinker. You're a guy who contemplates things and really considers things. It seems like when we look back at the All Blacks captains, you look at Richie and Kieran Reid and Sam Cane, that seems to be a consistent trait, a person who is quite level-headed. That's where you think your strength is?
Yeah, I think so. You got to be able to make decisions in the heat of the moment, and I think outside of the rugby field, you do have time to make decisions. On the rugby field, potentially you don't have as much time, so you just got to back yourself in those moments and trust the guys around you to make their own decisions as well.
As a lock, and you're leading, and then you've got your game drivers, you've got your 10s, your 15s. How important is it for you to connect with them as the captain? Like, do you spend a lot of time with your game drivers to understand where they want to be and how that helps you and your pack? Yeah.
Hall's probably laughing because I've told him to kick the ball out a couple of times. Just kick it in the stand.
Kick it in the stand.
I think that relationships, or the spine's pretty critical to any team. Being aligned with your attack coach, how you want to start a game, and I guess any potential adaptations you might go to within a game if it's not going well, or if this happens, so you're, I guess, on the same page, and it's almost automatic with, I guess, what they're thinking is what you're thinking as well.
Yeah, and you got your brother as one of them, your older brother.
Yeah,
you've got the ability to trump him and say, no, mate, I'm the skip.
I think there's, you trust guys in their own domain. If he's seeing space out wide that we need to get to, or the kick space is on, then, we'll trust that, or vice versa. If I feel we can engage a team through a maul or a scrum or keeping the ball tight, then I guess you got to be able to back each other's decision making around that, and that sort of comes with trust and having guys that own it out there.
I think it's probably one thing, Ross, that I think actually maybe a lot of people don't actually understand that. Like, yes, Scooter or whoever the captain may be, but there's so many moving parts with that to be able to get the best out for the team. Like, Richie Mwanga would drive the attack week, the whole week. So, Scoot would come in and be able to say, like, this is what he's thinking. Richie's done the work with Steve, with Scott. They did it around that. Then you got your defence leaders that are running it, and so like, it's very easy for a player to be able, if you're concentrating on your own domain, you're only really concentrating on that and possibly your own performance as well. So, and I know with those coaches that are there, it's pretty similar in terms of being aligned. It's probably the most important thing, right, Scoot, to be able to get the result when you're all on the same page.
The higher you go in rugby as well is like, the more you just focus on your job and being really good at your job. Like, I guess probably back in first 15, you might be able to do a lot of work outside of your job as a forward. You might be running in the back line, you might be doing a bit of kicking, whatever it might be, but at test match level, you know your basics and you do them really, really well. And you have 15 guys doing that, you're going a long way to winning a game,
So you used to do a bit of kicking in the back line back in the day?
Occasionally.
I'll see you at training. Scott. You get a game of touch going, and this guy is about 100% just scoring tries, diving and everything, so it's got a skill set for it. Got a skill set, a
competitive edge for it.
Uber competitive,
I imagine growing up there was a fair bit of competition going on. So, but you're a bit of a footy geek then. Do you watch a lot of it?
Yeah, I do. I watch the top 14 highlights from the weekend, like on a Monday. Some of the premiership games, English premiership, and top 14 even. Just sort of, I don't know, just to see how teams play the game differently. You can take stuff away. You can sort of double down on your own game. Tactically, what are teams doing differently? Particularly around some of the bigger matches like the European Championship and that sort of thing. It's an interesting watch, just to get a different, perspective on how to play the game.
Where do you see the game in terms? You've got England that are coming down. You're going to go to the Northern Hemisphere at the back end of there. You've got the Rugby Championship. The areas that you probably see that are going to win your test matches.
Coming out of Super Rugby, teams love to attack. But I think at test match level, I think you really get tested you know, you got to have a solid defence, solid set piece, and kick really well. Those are probably three things that Northern Hemisphere teams, South Africa, would really test you on. So you got to be pretty sharp in those three areas, and I guess the natural running game will come out, and yeah, can score a lot of tries off the back of it, hopefully.
Do you think in that way maybe the Blues have helped everyone out by playing more of that style, and so there's maybe some more experience down here in confronting a team that just wants to come at you like a truck and kick?
Yeah, for sure. I think they've had a really good season. A simple game plan that's confrontational, using their forwards with wingers floating around. Like it has been an interesting style, and obviously very effective. So I think that's, with guys coming out of that environment, to, you know, share some insight into that style of game will be of value to the All Blacks. Yeah.
Is there one team in particular that you're really looking at your lips to?
I'm not looking too far past England, to be honest. I think, yeah, with where I am, you know, we want to start really well, and they're a team that pride themselves with defence, and yeah, like a pressure game that will try to squeeze you to make mistakes, and yeah, I'm super excited to play England.
Yeah, and they're playing a good variety of game. We had Scott Hansen on the show, and he was talking about how they might not be the team that everyone thinks they are in New Zealand, and that's got to be exciting that evolution is happening all around the place.
Yeah, they've got some skilled guys. Typically, they might pick a slightly heavier pack, but I think they've got some athletes within their group, but still have that style of pressure rugby to, I guess, strangle you. Like the Ben Earl guys who are pretty dynamic, and also, yeah, they've still got that physical edge to them there.
You're at a ruck.
Yep.
Who is one player in the world that you don't want to see coming at you to clear you out? Who's the person that's like you keep your eye on?
Probably locally or historically, it would be Brodie Retallick. Yeah. He'd just, zero in on you. If you're over the ball, he's, you know, that's how he's made his mark on the game, you know, through some of his clean-ups, especially early in the career where you could tuck a shoulder a wee bit more. Yeah, so he's very physical around the breakdown. Probably in the current team, Ethan Blackett he's at the training park, he's pretty heavy.
Doesn't follow the rules of training, doesn't pull punches.
Clarity, you got to watch out.
Probably those two. If you're committing to getting over the ball, you're making sure you're locking it down. Otherwise, you're getting spat out the back,
Yeah.
On the other side of it, who would be one person you've seen in a ruck? I'm like, oh, there's one. Nick White, possibly. Is he one? Is he one he's good? Or
yeah.
Halfbacks, come on.
Yeah, I got a little bit excited in that game, yeah, I think. Yeah, and post that, I actually got told to stop picking on halfbacks. So
we're an easy target, mate. We talk a lot, mate.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
We're an easy target.
What about your favourite part of the game? What is the part of the game that brings you the most joy? Like, what's the skill set or the thing that you come off and go, man?
Seeing the joy in fans' faces after a game, or you know, just hearing their stories of how much, you know, they love the team that you're following or where they've come from. It might be their first game, or they might have travelled across the world. You know, those interactions with fans, with family who have travelled, it's pretty awesome. I guess within the game, you know, you sort of have a whole week of preparation, and that comes down to an 80-minute performance where you got 23 blokes who have, you know, put it all out there on the park, and all going well. You get to share a moment in the sheds after where you can sort of look each other in the eye and say, "Yep, that was pretty awesome."
You love the culture.
Yeah, I love the culture. yeah, as you've probably found out, I'm a bit of a rugby head, so yeah.
Well, it seems to flow through the family. We had Bodie and Geordie on last year, and geez, once they started talking code, it's like you guys sit around with almanacs. And
It's an IP. There's just the amount. It's like an encyclopedia of rugby.
Yeah,
all different positions being able to come together collectively. So
100%. Oh, thank you very much for your time, Scott.
Cheers.
Really appreciate it. Great to have you on the show, and all the best for the season to come.
Nah, thank you. Cheers.